This week I thought it was time for a little encouragement and affirmation again. So that's why I'm here recording this today. Because sometimes it feels like the whole world is trying to sell us something. And whenever someone tries to sell us something, they always make it look like this valuable thing that they have to give to you to buy is exclusive to them. That you will have no insight into it, that you won't possess it, that you won't understand it, whatever their particular product might be, without buying it from them, without being granted access to it by them. But the thing is, the best things in life, the highest good, is plentiful. In fact, it's infinite. It's readily available. And most importantly, it's simple. And what kind of a horrible world would we live in which the best thing, truly the best thing, that which we're all looking for, freedom, peace, happiness, would be something that is rare, that is expensive, or that is complicated? I know you know this deep down, but the whole world says another thing for profit. That's why I want to just affirm you that yes, the best things are attainable, and they're simple, and they're free. And I'll show you how all you need for perfect peace of mind, meaning in life, and happiness is all around you and can be plucked from any which direction that you want. And I won't be afraid to call in the help of our good friend Marcus Aurelius once again this week. But just to show you that in this, $10 copy of what someone wrote thousands of years ago, you can find everything that you need and everything that anyone else who's attained happiness from wherever they did it has. You can get it from here as well as in any other places. It's not complicated, and it's essentially free. I'm sure you could find this text for free also, since it's 2,000 years old. And everything that you need to know is contained in this one paragraph. And I'm just trying to find, I have a couple of things bookmarked here. Here it is. And it's not even just that it's in this one place, in this one book. No, I'm just picking one of the many instances in this one book that contains every single thing you need. Listen to this and tell me if this is not all you need. Marcus Aurelius says, train yourself to think only those thoughts such that in answer to the sudden question, what is in your mind now, you could say with immediate frankness, whatever it is, this or that. And so your answer can give direct evidence that all your thoughts are straightforward and kindly, the thoughts of a social being who has no regard for the fancies of pleasure or wider indulgence, for rivalry, malice, suspicion, or anything else that one would blush to admit was in one's mind. Does it get any simpler than this? Train yourself to get rid of all those thoughts that you would blush to admit of having. That's it. If in any moment, like he advises, you can answer the question, what is in your mind right now? And you could answer without having to cover anything up, without thinking of how to put it in a way that wouldn't be embarrassing. If you can train yourself to think like that at all times, what is left? There's nothing in the past or future that can disturb you unless you let it. If I asked you right now what's in your mind, and you would tell me, well, it's resentment from what this person did to me last week, then I would have to say, and Marcus Aurelius would, I think, tell you, and you yourself would tell you, that you are doing something shameful, that you're letting yourself drag down by what this person did a week ago. Now, it's happened, that's gone. They can't drag you down now. It's you who's doing it. There's nothing ever wrong with the present moment. Everything that we resent, everything that we're frustrated by, everything that we dread, everything that we wish did not exist is either in the past or we expect it to come in the future. And there are many people who try to make this seem complicated, that you somehow have to go into the past, grapple with it, win it, fight it, overcome it, annihilate everything that you ever disliked in your past to come out on top, and then you might be happy. The past literally does not exist. It only exists to the extent that you prop it up. If you keep your mind free and clear of all the thoughts that you yourself don't want to have, if you stop hating, if you stop being angry with others or your situation or anything at all, then there's nothing left to do. And no one says that it's easy. That it's simple doesn't mean that it's easy. It's a practice. It's daily and it's constant, and we all slip up. But that's the thing, you don't have to be perfect. You will have happiness to the degree that you achieve to do this. You don't need to do this perfectly to have any happiness whatsoever. The closer you come to that perfection, which you really never need to achieve to be very, very happy, to that degree you will have happiness. And you will be, if you come anywhere close to spending most of your time in thoughts that you yourself are not ashamed to admit you have, you are way past the threshold of happiness, and you're doing very, very well. And tell me, what can happen to you if you take things moment by moment? If you don't obsess about the past, if you don't keep bringing the past into the present and bringing the future into the present by keeping to think about what you're dreading in the future as if it's happening now, if you keep clear of the past and the future in that way and just see this one moment as everything, because it is everything, and you keep it free and clear, then tell me, what can happen? How can your happiness be taken away from you? This is what I call the work of life. If in every moment you do your best to take whatever your sense perceptions, your mind throws at you, right? We're an intellect, we're awareness that perceives things through the senses, of course. What we see, what we hear, these things enter into our mind through our senses. And if everything that enters into our senses, moment by moment, we subject to questioning and examining, and only admit that which is worthy of us and reject that which is unworthy of us, there will never be anything inside of you that you don't want it to be there. This is the work of life, to be aware, simply aware of what's happening. Just to have your attention not pulled and pushed by what's happened in the past or what you think is going to happen in the future, but to simply keep it, direct it, shine it on the now, which is always only one little moment. It's just one piece of the whole thing that you need to deal with. One tiny little moment and one tiny little piece at a time is all that you need to concentrate on. It's so small, it's impossible not to grasp it. If at all, it can sometimes be hard to keep doing it every moment. But there's nothing complicated about it. It's simple. There's a big difference between hard and complicated. It might not be easy to do this, but it is very simple. And all it requires is your attention on the present moment. Like I said, whatever comes through your senses, this might be that something that someone else says right to your face, something that someone has said and is being reported to you indirectly, something that you observe happening around you. Whatever it may be, it's entering through your senses and it's being suggested to you. Will you admit it or will you reject it? You can say, this is a thought worthy of me. I will take it in. Or you will say, this is a thought unworthy. This is a thought that's harmful. For example, when you hear the report of someone having said something that really you don't like, and it brings with it resentment, will you let that resentment in? Or will you simply decide to block it out, to not let it in, to not allow it inside of you? That's the one thing that you have control of. You are the gatekeeper of that. You have no control whatsoever what is trying to enter that gate, what comes to it, what asks to be let in, but you are in control of letting it in or not. And this is all there is to it. Again, it's not easy. It's a process, and it's every day, and it's constant. So it's not easy, but it is simple. And just to show you, when I talk about such things, what Marcus is talking about here being a timeless and universal truth. This happens to me all the time. I wish I would keep better track of these things, and I might in the future. But just in this one instance, again, Marcus, I marked another page for you. The soul of a man harms itself, first and foremost, when it becomes a separate growth, a sort of tumor on the universe. Because to resent anything that happens is to separate oneself in revolt from nature, which holds in collective embrace the particular natures of all other things. So he says to resent anything is to separate yourself from reality, from the universe, which holds all things. So you separate yourself from all things. And that is exactly how resentment brings with it unhappiness. This is why we want to drop resentment. And here's another person, someone who could hardly be any more different than Marcus Aurelius, who's Simone Weil. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who lived almost 2,000 years ago, and Simone Weil, a woman, a philosopher, French mystic, who died in the 1940s. And look here what she says. Not to accept an event in the world is to wish that the world did not exist. Not to accept an event in the world is to wish that the world did not exist. Same thing. To not accept something is to resent something, which is to wish that the world did not exist, which is impossible. We cannot make the world not exist or to wish that it was different. And in Marcus's words, we are tearing ourselves away from nature, from the universe. It's available everywhere. These words, these insights, these ideas, which will completely free you, give you the meaning that we all need as humans, and to give you the happiness that everyone is longing for free. It's everywhere, all around you. It's timeless and it's universal, as I just showed you. You cannot buy these things. You cannot purchase this insight. You cannot find it somewhere ready-made to be given to you. You need to find your own personal connection to these timeless and universal ideas. And once you do, that is your meaning. That is your happiness. And no one can ever claim exclusivity on meaning and happiness for you ever again.